Well, today we woke up to find out that there was a late-night legislature meeting where the bandits declared a 66% tax hike. Do the liberals in this country ever think to cut spending instead of raising taxes? Joining me now on the all-star panel, on the left, I'm pointing to Democratic strategist Julie Rodzinski, and on the right, we have Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa and radio host Chris Markowski. Go ahead.
Who left a legacy behind. Blago. He sold Lotto. He sold the toll roads. So any other way they could get income, he leveraged that out in the future. So basically, between the crooks,
he tried to sell the Senate seat.
Right, but being crooks, whining, dining, being pocket-lined all the time in Springfield and in Chicago, they've sold the citizens down the river through corruption, high taxes, and selling.
Hold on, Julie. Hold on.
Not only that, they issued municipal debt to fund their pension. Now the bonds are up, and the performance they got with that money that they borrowed is an absolute disaster. They're 48th in this country as far as job creation is concerned, 17% in spending increases over the next 10 years.
And deep in the hole, and it looks like in New Jersey was if he lost, he said he made a deal with the teachers union and some of the other unions, said if I lose and they try and break your contract, you're going to get a one-time payment, literally billions and billions of dollars that they're going to be entitled to.
Hold on, Julie. Because that's just not accurate.
One of the greatest things that could happen in this country, and the representative talked about constitutional issues, is we've got to come up with a law to allow these states to go into reorganization so they can break these contracts. Yes. A form of bankruptcy. People are going to have to start taking haircuts on the municipal bonds. We know it's coming. Meredith Whitney's been talking about it. Bill Gross pulled back a little bit today. But the reality is this is completely unsustainable.
Hey, Juan, from the right here, we heard in the last day or so, maybe we should have a flat about our tax structure. Nothing flat.
We're all working stiffs here. We're going to be getting hit. The super wealthy are not going to pay because they're sticking all their money into treasuries anyway. We got a 70,000-page tax code, for crying out loud. Shoot it into the sun. Case it in lead, for crying out loud. The reality of the situation is politicians use the tax code to divide us into various little groups. If we had a fair tax, we were paying at the point of sale, nobody could escape. But I disagree with the professor. I don't know what book she was reading where it said that during an economic downturn, you start taxing more.
Markets, yeah, they're not playing fair. They're not playing fair, and we let them get away with it.
Wait a minute, hold on. You and I agree on a lot of things, but here's where we disagree. And I don't think that we should have trade barriers up. I think it should be a free market.
Didn't say trade barriers, but we let the government get away with subsidizing that industry.
Is by taxing them when they try and sell into our markets, right?
Oh, no, but play hardball with them. Right now, President Barack Obama has not played hardball with the Chinese.
Listen, if they want to own the solar panel market, let them, because he's right. It's inefficient. It's not going to work. This is what happens when the government gets involved in anything, when they pick winners and losers, whether it be ethanol, epic fail, whether it's solar, whatever it may be.
Wind?
Yeah.
Wind. Hey, Julie, I cut you out of this, but we're going to get you in on this one right now. Let's move on to this one. Go ahead, Chris.
The world is awash in oil. I don't know if you saw the story today. Greenland wants to go independent. They want to become, there's 57,000 people that live on Greenland because they're finding so much oil there. They want to break away from Denmark and become their own country. There's more than enough oil out there. The original combustion engine was designed based upon vegetable oil. It was too expensive. That's why we went to petroleum. Until the price comes down, actually, until the price goes up, where the necessity is the mother of invention, we're going to continue to use oil.
Market. That's a free market.
And it's coming. That's what we heard.
And now, the corruption matrix, taking you inside the world of corruption, abuse of power, and shocking betrayals of the public trust.
To New York City. The Big Apple? How about the Bad Apple? New York City is being sued by the federal government for Medicaid fraud. The feds say Gotham City was overcharging Medicaid tens of millions of dollars. And get this, the millions were spent on patients who needed help shopping and grooming and other personal care. Tens of thousands of these tough New Yorkers were pampered to the tune of $150,000 per person. Are you kidding me? To Harrisville, Utah, it's tough being a Walmart greeter. Even Perry, Utah police chief won't show any respect. When one greeter asked Chief Jones to show a receipt, he flipped out. The frightened greeter says the cop yelled, "Are you gonna arrest me, you b****y?" I can't tell you what he really said. And then he rolled over a foot with his cart. The chief's been suspended. People, please be nice to your greeters. To Dover Township, Pennsylvania. Licking her wounds, former York County staffer Vicky Glatfelter was charged with embezzling $347,000 in public money through postal refunds. Good old Vicky was collecting phony refunds from stamp machine errors and depositing them directly into her own bank account. Cops were treated to a gift when asking her some basic questions. She blurted out, "I did it." Guess she should have stuck to her story. Now she's going to take a licking in jail. And that's...
So what about it, Chris Markowski? We've been around a long time. I've seen these. I remember, what was the guy, Henry Blodgett, who went to his sales department at a big investment bank and said, you know what, get your clients in this stock. I'm about to recommend this stock as a great investment, knowing very well that the company was a piece of garbage.
And now he's a Huffington Post blogger and an upstanding journalist. I guess how the world turns.
My point is, it's been going on for ages.
For ages. But, you know, he's got 3 million people that follow him on this Twitter thing. It's like the ultimate boiler room operation. It's like putting out 3 million sales calls all at one time.
What do you think of this?
Idolizes all these celebrities, and he thinks, oh, I'm getting some tip, and I heard it on Twitter, and it's coming from what they would consider a credible source because it's their boy 50 Cent, and he is just ripping them, you know, raw. I mean, it's unbelievable to me. If I'm the government, I'm taking a hard look.
That's exactly what it is, because that $80,000 market cap value up to $60 or $68 million over the weekend. That is on the heels of the little guy buying in. His hard-earned money gets into this, and he's on the hook. Go ahead, Chris. You want to jump in real quick?
You know, down in Florida at the theme parks, they have a little sign outside all those little water rides. If you get on this ride, you're probably going to get wet. If you're playing around in the penny stock markets, you're probably going to get burned one way or another.
People don't know that, Chris. People don't. GM is looking for results. They want to tie UAW workers' salaries to improvements in vehicle quality. This plan was offered by GM's...
You know, most of Wall Street is based upon bonus pay anyway. You got pretty much a small salary, and a lot of the traders...
Small salary?
Well, a lot of them do. Towards the end of the year, most of it, the traders do. You know that. The traders are based upon the money they make.
What do you consider...
What he's saying is they're most of what their compensation is in bonus.
I get it, but let's be honest, it's not a small piece.
There's no doubt. You're talking about the executives and some of the people at the top. That's kind of, you know, they've got some larger salaries, but the working stiffs, the traders, the brokers, they're based upon what they
Juan Williams, is this the year?
The whole system's busted. Some of these union pensions, you can actually check a box saying guaranteed 8% return. Now, if I was to do that as a financial planner, I'd go to jail.
I don't disagree with you.
All the money, lots of you were fired up over my home state's overnight tax hike. Lisa writes, temporary my butt. Well, I'm not sure she said my butt, but when was the last time a tax increase was temporary? When will the idiotic people of this state do the right thing and vote those idiots out of office? Kathleen says, I was going to tell you, Eric, I had a temporary job. They pulled the contract today because of the tax increase. In less than a week, Quinn has broken 2 campaign promises. That has to be some kind of record even for Illinois. And Melanie writes, isn't this proof that the lame duck sessions need to go away? I don't know what it is. This is such a joke. I feel sorry for the people of Illinois. And we're talking about Kathleen. Juan, what about it? Unfair. The people of Illinois, and Kathleen's one of them, had a job loss today. The very day that this thing is cheaper.
I think he should have followed Andrew Cuomo's lead, and he did not follow it.
We're going to have to leave it there. It was a great show. Appreciate Juan's time in D.C. as well. Thank you, guys.